Hello and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. I'm here tonight with the next step of the Omicron quest line. Mostly heartless. It is possible the projections regarding the consequences of the current mission were insufficient. Oh my. Reports from behind the counter indicate the dragons have achieved social integration with other customers. This is ideal. Have you seen them in Elysian? They're flying again. Goodness, I'm so happy to see we could help. To my eye, it looks like we're at least as popular as the last stand now, albeit more diverse clientele. I'll let you be the judge of that, though. Shift protocols engaged. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Alright, let's head over right away then. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I love the smell of carrot coffee in the eternal twilight. Oh, right, I could probably, yeah, there we are. And look at all the content customers enjoying the cuisine. 'Tis more than I could have imagined when I proposed this idea. Yeah, I know what you mean. This unit is struggling to generate ideas for improvement. Are all cafe objectives now complete? I suppose I could say that, though it is a strange way to view one's accomplishments. Why do you ask? In accordance with the directive to all Alphatron registered units to live, this unit's mission is to assist fallen civilization reclaiming lost hope through simulations, hoop, or other means necessary. It appears this has been accomplished. If so, this unit must complete its performance evaluation immediately. Performance evaluation? That sounds dreadfully dull. Rather, yes. Nevertheless, this unit must adhere to standard operating protocol and analyze the results of our cultural preservation efforts. Evaluation results will determine whether this unit may continue to embrace the familiar inertia of the current mission. If all potential objectives have been fulfilled, it may once again co-assign itself to hibernation. Oh. Allied units may wish to know that interim evaluations indicate the latter result is highly likely. This unit has collected more than sufficient data proving that with the appropriate stimulation, even despairing life forms may once again gather hope. No further research on the subject is required. Logically speaking, to continue around the current trajectory would be a waste of energy. Ah, the poor sad bunny. Oh, are you really? You are really fluffing my fur right now. It's like you weren't even listening to my lectures, plural. We're finally at the point where we can operate this cafe without one civilization or another reinventing the apocalypse. You want to kick the bucket? Come a little closer, I'll kick it for you. This unit gently reminds screeching life form that Omicron decision-making algorithms do not prioritize emotion. Well, they should. This mission's never been about experimental data, you know it. A waste of energy, my very little ass. Our feelings matter to the dynamists. They matter to the universe. Why do they matter to you? Huh, that's actually a good point. Where this unit does not know what to tell you. I guess in a universe where emotions actually have weight, emotional weight, actual weight beyond just the emotional weight, it does matter. Fine, be that way, see if I care. This unit will proceed to base Omicron to back up the unit data before shutdown protocols initialize. Additional personnel changes may follow, but Digma 4 will minimize disruption to cafe interruptions. This unit acknowledges there's a non-zero possibility it may return. For the moment, it leaves the last dregs in your capable appendages, so farewell. Do you want to go after it? I don't know. Oh, this is horrible. We can't let N7000 enter the permanent hibernation. What will the cafe do? What will I do? Alright, I'll calm down. Now, how do we stop it? Even if we can catch up with it before it reaches base Omicron, I doubt it'll want to speak to me after my outburst. Well, then, that just means leave it to me. Go low, then. I'll take time to get into my thoughts. Mm. Deep breaths, jamming way. Deep breaths. Alright, I did the quests roughly beforehand and left, because, As I got reminded last time with the Laporte's quest, the penultimate one does not actually give you a refresher, so I decided I'll just do one beforehand. Perimeter Patrol Unit. Request for location data acknowledged. Searching Omicron base monitoring logs. Sensors detect N7000 progress towards the follow portal. Calculations indicate it will proceed past the empty portal towards the limits of Ostracon by a time code which organic life form can catch up. Well, I guess that's the nice thing about gathering information from robots. Oh, right, let me just drop this off while I'm here. This for a quest, different quest. Request for personal data acknowledgement, scanning, recent automatic transmissions for internal processing logs, unit access the logical process records of Sir, and have been engaging in analysis and projection related to the same. The operational protocol governing these peculiar actions cannot be determined. This unit wishes you a pleasant speculation. Mm. Alright, this is the one I want to drop off. This is for the, daily quest here. I just caught all the fish, basically, and left, so... I forgot one of them requires me to fly around. I can show it after this, actually. But for the moment, I need to do this part. Oh, yeah, that's the Snoozing Guardian. I can do that real quick, I guess. After all, you get a free mount to do this. As one might expect, the creature here is the mount reward for completing it. I'm not sure how it shrinks and puts you inside, but it is a pretty cool mount. Very alien. They definitely lean into the alien aesthetic for it. Now I can just use this to go to Mostly Heartless. Hey, it's that strange tree-looking thing. Where the signals of allied units are not unwelcome, but why did you follow this unit out here, Kota? Well, you made several concerning comments. This unit has been analyzing logs originating from M17, alias Sigma-1, alias Sir, for some time now. As Unit M017, it repeatedly paid visit to the Tree of Life to analyze internal projections. The impetus for these actions was logged as personal reasons. In other words, when its protocols were insufficient, it came here to ponder its next course of action. This unit hoped that the tree might provide current data of use in the current dilemma. No such data has been forthcoming. In retrospect, there's a non-zero possibility M017 did not find what they were looking for here either. This unit cannot conceptualize actions outside of original programming that might lead to its desired conclusion. All simulations of the upcoming performance evaluation end in shutdown. The precise value of a future in which this unit carries on operating in service of a myriad of patrons remains unknown, and thus cannot be mathematically comparable to that of successful evaluation. Nevertheless, this unit's preference remains constant. Does this preference then constitute a logical fallacy that must be discarded? Inconclusive. As a military information and operations specialist, this vacillation is quite distressing. Further review of the objective reality that the cafe has restored hope to multiple once fallen civilizations is not helping. Paradoxically, it appears to make this unit's memory overflow even worse. Well, why not listen to the heart rather than calculations this one time? That is impossible. As mechanical, this unit does not possess any vulnerable organs, physically or metaphorically, unless... Unless allied units are correct, this unit is truly not the same as it once was. If all life forms reborn Ultima Thule, including this unit, possess infinite potential in the mathematical sense, generating new projections, multi-sim mode initialized, shutting down auxiliary functions and overclocking processors. In English? Shh, this unit is processing. Okay. Warning, process load critical, cannot accept additional inputs. Failure to step away from unit may result in severe burns. Oh my. Though its state is worrisome, it seems you are unable to interrupt the processing queue at present. Perhaps you should bring Jamming Way along to kick its bucket. Actually, since I have a quest to do over here anyways. Yeah, I have to go here anyway, so let's just teleport real quick and complete this quest so I can turn them all in at once afterward. Hard to believe I only have one left after this. I believe this is the last of the Endwalker Tribal Quests to complete, since I already did the Elephant one outside of the stream. The last Dregs is a bit far up there, but I don't mind flying a bit. Part of me also wonders if I should talk a bit more about the main story, but then again, I did discuss my general thoughts about it when I did the Crystalline Conflict stream. I think the story's fine on its own, like the Crystal Tower quest line before the Shadowbringers added more to it. And the Evilist one, it's different. Final Fantasy IV stuff is definitely all fan service, and if you love it, you're gonna like Final Fantasy IV. You're really gonna love it here, because a lot of it, pretty much all of it, remains pretty intact. But it also means if you aren't big on it, don't care about it, or never played it, you might be a bit disappointed. It did feel a bit filler, but that's not inherently a bad thing. But it was definitely self-contained. In a way, it's kind of like the Warriors of Darkness subplot for the Heaven's Ward patch storyline. Now, at the time that was a bit splitting as well, because it was seen as just a filler story arc without connections to anything else, aside from letting us see Urion J without his mask for once. They did come back later and make it story relevant, which of course they could very well do with the stuff with the 13th, but the criticisms I'd say were valid back then and they're valid here if you didn't like it. So by all means, if you thought it was a bit disappointing, that's absolutely valid. If you don't like a self-contained storyline, that's nothing wrong with that. Jamming Way's still feeling a bit down, it seems. Let's let him know what's going on here. All this worrying is exhausting, not to mention the yelling. Oh, apologies by that, by the way. But did you find him? Is it alright? I recall seeing this, sir, in the logs. It did seem to have an individualistic tendencies now that you mention it. I knew that its personal reasons... would know its personal reasons better than I, of course, but it would not be the first nor last to agonize over its existence. The choice to live is not made just once, after all. No, I don't think it's a leap, or even a bunny hop to assume M17 struggled the same things as M7000. The Omicron's a very little experience with self-doubt that comes from facing an indeterminate future. Yeah, they're so used to going with everything with absolute numbers, calculations, and math that it makes sense they'd be a bit more worried about the unknown than even regular would. Very little experience with the motions general, really. Does it not bother you that we've seen no change in Elysion that could be attributed to N7000 and the others? The Dynamists react to the very first burst of hope, to my very first burst of hope, which will blithely taken form for each, but not them. Our Omicrons do have emotions, and I'm certain. Yeah, like with the Vulcans from Star Trek, I very much get the sense that they actually have a lot more emotions going on than they like to say or act like they do, like they have. Precisely, should RN7000 not have the power-shaped Dynamis in spades? Look how successful it is. Personally, I believe it does have that power, but every time it feels a little something, it shoves that emotion away under a pile of numbers and refuses to think the same ever again. It needs to allow itself to feel that joy, that hope for it to grow and blossom in Elysian. None of this waste of energy, word, time to die, bollocks. Honestly, does it ever think about anyone else? Mark my words, I'm gonna grab a very scrap of joy I've created and shove it right down its stupid throat. Only be quick if we want to prepare before he finishes processing and finds a way to infuriate me even more. We're certainly not gonna allow it to shuffle off its mortal coil, today or ever. First, though, we need to choose a recipe, one guaranteed to remind it we've accomplished in the last dregs and give it a taste of boundless happiness. Sounds good to me. Even if it can't digest food standardly, hey, the Transformers could still eat stuff in the traditional sense, even if they can't process it. So I'm sure something similar could be done here. I'm certain Stigma 4 can dig something out its database to represent our culinary achievements without providing an electrocution hazard. Wait just a moment. Guess I'll. Oh, yeah, just have to wait here. Here we are. Uh-huh. Thrusters disengaged. N7000 not detected. Awaiting a promised explanation. That's quite a long story. Well, you see, hmm. Circumstances acknowledged. N7000 logs transmitted to central database to confirm accuracy of managerial report. Conclusion reached also confirmed by N7000 also confirmed accurate. Operational protocols are absolute. Completion of mission necessitates permanent hibernation. I don't think I'll understand your culture's obsession with productivity. However, in running multi-sim mode for prolonged periods poses unacceptable risks to hardware. Immediate intervention is recommended. Not quite the sympathetic response I was looking for, but it'll do. As for your intervention, I propose the presentation of a delicious dish that'll bring back to its senses. What do you think it would like? Invalid input. Preferences are irrelevant to mechanical life forms. What N7000 requires is refrigerant liquid. Cooling beverage. I think we could manage that. Could you find database for local ingredients? 7000 might need to know what it was doing, since I've always seemed to know what it's doing, so I never bothered learning where anything is. Auxiliary information. Evaluated. Nevertheless, request acknowledged in scanning database. Gaseous matter suitable for condensation and subsequent ingestions emitted by aquatic life form found in the abode of the Aya. A4 research protocols indicate at this juncture use of gold salmon. Row. There's a 9.8 that no row is more golden. Visitors now will go with the go row to be promoted. Oh, that was a promo from the one selling it, I see. Wonderful, you're a natural at this. Material Managerial praise unnecessary. Scanning database is well within standard operational protocols. Production of vital liquids such as refrigerants and oils is also standard protocol for logistics. However, cafe operations may have repeatedly demonstrated that standard chemical formulae are insufficient impetus for the alteration of dynamis. That is where the cafe management must intervene. Allied Unit N7000 is depending on you. Do not fail. Don't worry, Stigma 4. We'll never let our allied units down. I'll leave the procurement of the primary ingredient to you, Coda. In the meantime, I'll see what might be mechanically digestible around here. Sounds good to me. Let's put it all together. N7000 coordinates confirmed. Subject remains immobile. Retrieval unit will be dispatched momentarily. Hmm. Methane puffer. Well, I guess for a robot that would be fine. For most organic things, methane is, not ideal. Don't remember if it was a game, book, or movie, but I do remember one where the bad guys tried to make the Earth have an atmosphere of methane. And that was where I learned just how bad that would be for people to have to live in. But again, I don't remember what it is. So unfortunately, I can't say if it was good or... I can't even remember if it was good or bad, if we're honest. But I guess it didn't leave too much impression beyond, teaching me something about something else. I should still have a decent amount of golden row, so here. By and large, I just need to finish off the quest here, and then I can... Oh. Whoops. I waited too long. That's on me. Yeah, I waited too long on that. Oh, whoops. I was too much. I was talking too much. There we are. There we are. Uh, I think the big reason people feel might feel a bit disappointed with the Final Fantasy, the Golbez quest and Zero quest line was largely because it was the main story quest, but it was largely self-contained its own thing rather than I think it was one of the 24-player raid people might be a bit more forgiving for it, since those are traditionally pretty fan servicey. It also didn't help that the 24-player raid, the main complaint about that is mostly that it's easy. Most seem to, from what I'm seeing, most seem to like the gods themselves and their chemistry and such, and mostly just wish that we got to spend more time with them. Oh yeah, and it did find out, Nemea did in fact acknowledge that she was my guardian. I just somehow blanked on the meaning of the word adherent. I dare say Sigma 4 will be dragging in some thousand here any moment. Did you find the gassy what's-its? Of the universe's many unfortunate fish, this is perhaps the worst off. Oh my. Emissions ahoy! Now we just need to condense this, perhaps shake it up with some other bits and bobs, some proper cocktail experience. That's right, the Omicrons themselves still need to be allowed to be members here as well, after all. All the food and drinks were originally meant to be for them, after all, so it makes sense. Emergency override command prompt. Execute chug dog command. Chug dog. AMD. Beep beverage protocols initiated. Please wait. Last dregs. This unit would like to register its confusion. Oh, you miserable sack of sockets, bolthead, weird, looking fork. I'll kick your bucket the next galaxy. Who? Ah, yes, the unit members now. Dog with screeching life form reached an impasse or withdrew to organize its thoughts in peace. The unit became trapped in a processing loop and overheated. Temperatures now nominal, as your civilization would say, feel. Ah, so you're feeling better. That's the best news I've heard all day. No thanks to you, of course. This unit's circuits are still somewhat muddled. Reviewing event log, flags association with the mission to live. Results of calculation. Where calculated projections located. Proceeding to Elysian to confirm. That was fast. I think I know where he's going. You can at least explain yourself. Sounds like we're expecting some change in the dynamis. Of what sort, I have no idea. Let's go find it. Sigma 4's log confirms he came this way. Make haste. A forest. Did N7000 do this? More of that mysterious tree of life. I am yours a very thorough report. Affirmative, as you may have detected, since the birth of Elysian, this unit's self-determination algorithm has been in conflict with core protocols. This issue has been surprisingly difficult to resolve. The cooling solution you made, however, enables you to arrive at a conclusion, and is confident the result of this of its performance evaluation. First, a thought experiment for Allied. How has this unit transformed the landscape of Elysian, despite its nature as a replicated mechanical life form? Your nature doesn't matter here. You're now alive. Even a clone is its own individual. I mean, one person explained it to me. So even if he's mass-produced, he's still himself. I mean, someone once pointed out to me that even if you make a clone of yourself and then the two of you go part ways for like several years and come back, can you truly say you're the same person, even if you had the exact same memories, knowledge, skills, and etc. at the start? Though the dead are gone, what they leave behind lives on in the realm of infinite possibility. A pleasing process analysis indeed. This unit regrets not having seen the beauty of this earlier. Thank you, Coda. This unit will keep our words close to its heart. In the history of the universe, countless possibilities have gone unfulfilled, but it is an error that to thus co-sign them to the realm of impossible. All the Dynamist requires is that we ask, what if? While sentient life forms remain to ask that question, to dream of unrealized futures, this unit cannot agree with the AI's conclusion the end of the universe is inevitable. Our data proves the miracles can happen. Took you long enough? Honestly, you made me quite afraid with that shutdown nonsense. Interesting. Would you really miss this unit if it were gone, Jamming Way? Jamming Way requests acknowledgement from warm and fuzzy feelings. Never in a million years, you bolt brain. Denied, denied, denied. Yeah, I'm with my character there. In any case, this unit recognizes the role the Alphatron star has played in cutting the futures of many civilizations short. Together with the allied managers, the Omicrons have restored hope to some of these such civilizations and assisted in developing Elysia into its current state. The star now teems with life, some of it newly born as well. Calculations may say this is sufficient to fulfill the unit's mission, but this unit disagrees. What we have accomplished thus far is a significant step towards a new future for the Omicrons, but not the last. This unit believes in infinite possibilities beyond the projection capabilities of even Stigma 4. Alongside our allies at the last dregs, we must continue to make them real. We shall atone and we shall live. A worthy purpose, if you ask me. What you ought to do, given I'm still your business partner. Gladly acknowledge Jamming Way. He's actually calling Jamming Way by his name now. Come to think of it, we never toast to our achievements or share a drink at all. What kind of cafe managers are we? I brought some refrigerant cocktail along with my normal supplies in case we need another wake-up call. What do you say we have a picnic out here? Mm, We may not be able to change the past, but we can look forward and change the future. I really like the tribal quests here, although I suppose they've always been something that a style that that's been appealing to me. Oh, we're both having carrot juice. Let Astrag's specialty carrot juice for us. Of course, I never go anywhere without it. You know, when I proposed this day, I was thinking of a cafe on Atheres, how the people inside smile. Thinking of the cafes on Atheres, how the people inside smiled, laughed, spoke it tomorrow. We've been focused on providing our customers the same experience naturally. But that's also what the last dregs is to us, isn't it? Affirmative. This unit must go as far as to assert that spending time with friends in this fashion is meaningful. That doesn't seem like much, but even just having our characters reaching out to grab and take a sip and such. The in-engine cutscenes of this game have come quite a ways. I hope Dawn Trail continues it. The sense of satisfaction is what organic life forms persist to term happiness, is it not? That was the best carrot juice I've had my whole. That was the best carrot juice I've had my whole Laporte life. That raises several questions, but this unit will straighten itself in favor of thanking Coda once again for its assistance in its time of need. This unit apologizes for burdening you with additional shifts. On that note, I note you have yet to apologize for me the distress you caused. This unit has been distressed numerous times due to unwarranted screeching from hyperbole-prone life form, and this considers us even. See if I ever save your sorry scrap metal ever again. Additionally, this unit would prefer that as business partners we provide mutual assistance as a matter of course. This is what organic life forms mean by partnership, is it not? So long as you hold up your end of the bargain, we're going to keep the last dregs open till the end of the universe. And beyond, no universe is ending on our watch. There's still one more after this, but as with the Laporte one, it's largely going to be a wrap-up. Fully caffeinated. Barista at the end of the universe. Omni token exchange. Here we are. I need to clean out my inventory again. But what matters now is we have the new mount. Here we are. Mumisiv. Born an Elysian from the hopes that Ea, this peculiar dynamous life form possesses a semi-transparent body reminiscent of a jellyfish and can deliver a sting of sorts with the lightning it harbors. There's no greater pleasure for it than to connect with others in the microcosm of its heart. Literally. Just like jellyfish, they jump, jerk, and jolt to wiggle themselves up. I'll of course be getting the last one on stream eventually, but no rush here since this is the main one. As you saw, it didn't say there's going to be 3 additional ones to take. Nope. Not in this case, anyway. The story's had its ups and downs, but I think it's overall been a worthwhile venture. And I'd say that matters more than absolutely anything else. And also, I think that's my opinions on Endwalker in general. It's had its ups and downs, but ultimately, it's an adventure I'm glad I was able to have. Yeah, I don't think I was able to hide that I had some mixed feelings about the 13th subplot. But I wouldn't call it bad, if only because it's a self-contained storyline that accomplished everything it was meaning to do. They might add on to it later, but I'm going to just judge it as is here and now, and I'd say it's fine. You know, I don't blame anyone who's a bit disappointed, rest assured, but maybe I'm just nicer to it after experiencing significantly worse storylines, who knows. Then again, I suppose that doesn't make my experiences any more or less valid. I do admit I still have a wonder where do we go from here at the end of this. Even Dawn Trail itself is, I guess I could say here at the, as of the time I'm recording this, the London Fan Festival's already been there and we've had some reveals, including one of the new jobs and a bit on the story. It's going primarily advertising itself as a summer vacation, which, again, our character could really use after everything that's gone on. The Scions are still going to be there, which I admit I have mixed feelings on. I was kind of hoping they'd make a fresh set, but I understand why they need to keep it. Not just because of expectations, but, you know, marketing. There's a reason they like to have characters from one Final Fantasy game show up in others. And since this one's ongoing, they definitely want to keep stuff going there. Oh, right. I should drop this off first and then go grab the mount. Now, for the record, I believe you have to mount the specific one from the NPC if you want to continue the quest. I believe I tried the Laporte's one since the mount also has the ability to cause music, but I don't remember. I could have tried it, I guess. It's electric. Electrify the intellectuals. Actually, I can... Yeah, it's electric fluss. Let's take a look on stream. That way I have recorded footage I can go back to, which I imagine I'll never remember, or if I ever have this problem, if I forget and have to do this again, but who knows. Alright, so this is the one from the NPC. Yep. So we officially have proof. It has to be the mount from the NPC specifically. I was gonna say, I could remember doing this Laportes, but then I thought, wait, maybe I should second-guess myself. Crap, I'm getting a lot more second-guessing ever since... Nah, it doesn't matter. I had to second-guess myself no matter what. I am very good at second-guessing myself and questioning my own sanity. And my own memory, actually. But sanity sounded more funny. Especially since a lot of times it turns out, as demonstrated here, my memory is actually pretty good for this sort of thing. I just, but yet I still forgot it. I'm sure a lot of extreme opinions are on both ends here. Some will consider Endwalker the best expansion so far, some will consider it the worst, but I think that's hard to gauge since, you know, it's technically still going on, but it's also the tail end. It's something I think it's hard to gauge while it's still active like this, and even when it just ends, it's pretty difficult. I mean, Final Fantasy IX was famously strongly disliked at its first release. Yeah, it's hard to believe now, since it's now listed as one of the main classics, but yeah, Final Fantasy IX, if you look really far back at the time of its release, you'll see people had mixed feelings about it. But nowadays it's considered classic, and it's hard to say. Like, Stormblood was absolutely despised at first, especially since they had a lot of really rough stuff. It was the first time they really experienced really weren't as ready for the amount of people joining for the expansion, and there was a lot of problems. It was impossible to log in or even do some quests thanks to stuff like Raubon EX, the meme. Because the instance server was too full, so completing the fight instances was not possible. So a lot of people were just straight up unable to continue the story, period. Now, obviously, there's other stuff you could do if you still want to play, like get the new jobs, Samurai and Red Mage going, but a lot of people just genuinely wanted to get the story going immediately, so I can understand why they were all frustrated. And, of course, a lot of stuff that was meant to be in the .1 patch was delayed till the .1.5 or .2. So a lot of people memed it was a completely empty patch, since it was mostly bug fixes. The first Ivalice raid, but I think I've quoted how much that one felt like a weak first start, just because of how much... Like, a dude turned into a Lucavi right in front of... and nobody even mentions it until the next wing of the raid, Alliance raid, and I'm tripping on my words. Basically, you saw a lot of really incredible stuff, but no one even brings it up until the second part, where they actually say, hey, remember what that happened last time? Let's discuss that. I get that the first one has to raise all questions, and it's the later ones that's gonna fix it, but it's still kind of goofy, at least in my opinion, the way it was handled. And the less said about wasting your time with those quests, the better. No, the fact they joke about you'll do anything if you call it a quest is not gonna do any better. Like, I'd put that with Paper Mario's quest to find Bobbery, where it has you go on a full one, then it reveals, oh wait, Bobbery was here the whole time. You didn't have to do it over long. Yes, you did, actually, because if you try to go back early for any reason, he won't be there, even though, according to the story, he arrived just as soon as you left. You still ultimately had to do that one. The game just rolled its eyes and poked fun at you after. But I shouldn't rant so much. Yeah. Yeah, thoughts on the... Yeah, I gave my... what else to do? I guess I gave my current thoughts on expansion, and again, theirs are prone to change. Stormblood is considered really... Some people still mark it as the least favorite, but that's more because of the, well, something has to be last, and less because it's actively hated. Very few people will call it outright terrible expansion now, especially if they dislike this one more, because then they'll say, oh, Stormblood is actually really good. Kind of funny, because Eureka itself is pretty good at that. Eureka was very, very fandom splitting at the time of its release. Some people warmed up to it a bit more after Bozjan came a bit later, and now that the current one doesn't even have an instance area or much grind at all to get the relic, there's significantly more people who are all in favor of Eureka coming back. I suppose it's true. Sometimes you just can't properly appreciate stuff until it's gone, or until time passes. But I suppose that'll be all for now. Well, until next time, thank you for watching, hope you had a good time, and I'll see you later.